Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Housewives Edit. My name is Elle and I'm here to talk about the two loves of my life, editing and housewives. Well you guys, I am here doing part 2 of this scene at Kyle's house, the finale of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I didn't mean to just split up the scene to be annoying to make you guys watch 2 videos. Honestly, I just needed to take a little break. You guys know I'm literally due any day with a baby and sitting anywhere for longer than 30 minutes. My shoulders hurt, my back hurts. I'm sorry, I'm just complaining. Thank you guys again so much for subscribing, liking the videos, watching them in general. I am just so grateful for all of you. YouTube just opened a option for me to allow you guys to do super thanks, which is basically you can I don't know, add money to your comments. You do not need to do that, but it is an option for you. Some of you have asked for a Venmo or whatever because you want to add to my iced coffee fund. I really appreciate it. Anything that moves this channel and this community forward is just going to allow me to spend more time doing this. So all of your support really helps that cause. But guys, let's just jump into part 2 of this scene. I don't even need to set it up. Hopefully you've watched part 1 already, and let's jump into part 2.
To that.
You're only punishing me, just so you know.
That's not fair. We're trying not to punish you.
Hold on, your sister's punishing you.
That's right. Your sister's punishing you. That's right.
Going to the bathroom.
Kai.
Out to the bathroom.
Kyle, where'd you go?
It's a tricky situation, you guys.
Kai.
Well,
and Lisa's doing that same thing. They left that in, the editors left that in where she's saying that tricky situation.
it's a tricky situation, you guys.
We can go right back to where she was at Garcelle's party and she said the same thing when Kyle walked away at that party too.
It's hard for her, you guys, it's hard for her.
She's trying to speak almost for Kyle. I think the editors really leave that in on purpose. Lisa's not having the same conversation Kyle is, and it's like us as viewers are getting discombobulated, and also it's discombobulating in the moment.
I think we just let
Let her be.
the sisters take care of it.
I'm gonna go.
Me too. I'm gonna go too.
Yeah, let's all go.
You don't think it's weird that at every event...
Okay, so this is where I felt like this scene started to sort of get a little bit off the rails. It wasn't the editor's fault or anything, but they really had to get to the meat of this conversation and all of this before the finale ended, and they only have 10 minutes left. Diana says she's gonna go because, again, I believe Diana is just over this whole thing. She doesn't need us. Erika says, I'm gonna go too. You know, Kyle's already inside. Then they show this beautiful establishing shot of the outside of her house to show that the party is over, and it seems like everyone's leaving, but we're soon going to find out that that's not really what's happening. That's why this scene sort of started to kind of go off the rails for me.
Every detail is being leaked to the press.
Yes, I do think it's weird. Do you think that it's somebody in this group?
100%.
Oh,
First, there were leaks and
Okay, so as they're kind of talking about this thing about the leaks, they cut to the women, walking into the house, just silent scenes of the women kind of oh, we're just going home now. Of course, Lisa's dancing, doing something that no one else is doing. It's so random. They cut back to Kyle and she's saying, yes, it's absolutely someone in this group. And then they have this sort of ominous piano music.
100%.
Oh,
That's kind of giving this feeling of okay, something big is going to reveal itself here. Now they're cutting to the actual articles where the stuff that has been leaked is being shown. We as an audience should be okay, this is new. The Kathy stuff and Lisa saying that she needs to apologize and all that stuff, that's kind of now old news a little bit. But this whole leaking to the press thing as a storyline, now they're really, really pushing that as sort of the end, and we should be, excited to find out what's next.
in Aspen. Then I heard from a very, very reliable source that there were other leaks that never made it to publication. I was told...
And you guys see editing wise, they have the confessional of Kyle saying that she has reliable sources and stuff like that. And then they show Dorit almost like she's reacting to the confessional. They do this in the edit a lot. They use the shots from the set to react to the confessional, almost cueing us on how we should feel about this.
Told who the leak was. And it's in this group.
Someone wants my sister to look bad so that they don't look as bad.
Oh.
Okay, so by leaving that line in where Kyle says that, we obviously know that there's only really one person in this group who's looking, looking bad, if you will, during the season. So it's giving us a little bit of inside information without giving us all of the information. And then who do they cut to? but Erika.
We're leaving.
Right, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Goodbye. Thank you. I forgot I had to get this jewelry back.
I gotta go get my jewelry back.
Yeah, me too.
I'll have to fill you in everything, Faye. Kathy found out people were giving stories to tabloids. The articles were squashed because the lawyers were involved.
Okay, so this is kind of where the scene went wild for me. When you're editing, you kind of want to let your audience know, unless they're doing it for some specific reason, you want to kind of let people know like where people are. So, you know, they kind of set it up by leaving it in that they're like, oh, I need to go return this jewelry. So we're like, okay, some of the ladies are going to return this jewelry. Kyle's still sitting here, you know, with Faye, and now she's like, I'm going to clue you in on the situation. And so now we're kind of hearing the same like stuff, but it's being said to Faye. And this is where I'm kind of like, I don't know why, like it started to kind of get jumbled of where everyone is in the situation, where we are in the conversation, but let's just keep watching.
Just hit that straight on and say, are you doing this?
For the love of God, do I have to do this? Point blank.
Okay, so that was where it was such a weird cut for me because she's like, I have to clue you in, Faye. She starts talking to Faye, and then Dorit comes right in, and then all of a sudden Sutton says,
For the love of God, do I have to do this?
they don't even have a close-up of Sutton while she's saying that. You just see the reaction of Garcelle, and then all of a sudden now, okay, let's just keep watching.
Did either one of you leak
And
information?
this is where it's like such a weird cut. Now all of a sudden she's in like the parlor or the entryway with Erika and Lisa. She's getting to the point, she's getting to the meat of the conversation. You know, this is obviously good for TV, but it's like, it was so weird. Like Kyle was sitting down with Dorit, and then they were saying goodbye, and now Kyle was talking to Faye. And to me, it just started to sort of like get unhinged a little bit as in cut. And I really feel for the editors. I think there was just so much going on, and they're like, we gotta build something out of this. Let's just kind of, let's do this cut kind of rushed. Let's cut to Sutton right away, you know, getting into it with Erika and Lisa.
Leak information to the press.
No.
Kyle needs to know. I'm just asking.
What's going on?
Oh my God.
Did either one?
I think what's really hard about this, just like perspective wise, like her house is big. They cut to Sutton getting to the hallway really quick, but I actually think that hallway area where that pink sign is actually kind of far from where Kyle is sitting. So now Sutton's walking them into there. I just think honestly they just didn't, and not by any fault of their own, they didn't do a very good job of setting up location for everyone. So I think if you were watching this personally and you felt like you were like a little bit discombobulated by this scene and how it all kind of went too fast, I think it had a lot to do with how location was set up and where everyone is, because I think we were confused like where everyone is all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden they're getting all back together when they were just apart. Like it's a little bit like, I don't know, it kind of sets you off kilter.
One of you leak to the press any of this information about Kathy.
No, I don't know how to do that.
Tell
I
her.
don't do that.
No.
No.
It was someone who works for you.
Interesting.
A publicist. Kathy.
Okay, so it got quiet when she said interesting. She says someone who works for you. And of course, you know, they took out all the music.
Tell
I
her.
don't do that.
No.
No.
It was someone who works for you.
Interesting.
They have Erika say interesting, almost like, oh, well, I didn't know. And then she says,
A publicist.
and that's when the big stinger, knife sharpening sound, all of that comes in, because a publicist is someone that's speaking for you. So basically like someone that you knew was doing it, not like an assistant or a hair person or someone that was just leaking, you know, spilling tea. It's someone who was actually doing their job, speaking for you. So that's why that sound comes in, to make it more dramatic and also hit us with like a, ooh, you know, whoa, that's big.
Kathy launched an investigation and found out that it was someone on Erika's team that had leaked these stories.
My publicist did that? Well, then you should show me what you have.
I'm sure we can get that to you.
Please do that ASAP.
I know that.
So they really dragged on the moments going between Kyle and Erika, and they both have like no emotion.
Show me what you have.
I'm sure we can get that to you.
Please do that ASAP.
I know.
There's a lot bubbling underneath, but they're both like very like solid face. Like Kyle is barely like nodding her head when she says my publicist said that. It's just because these Beverly Hills ladies are so media trained. You know, if this was Potomac or something, she would have the receipts there and she'd be like, your publicist blank, blank, like telling all of this stuff. But they protect each other on this franchise. There's no question about it. So there's a little bit of like, it makes it feel more suspenseful, and you can hear the music in the background giving that suspense feeling, drawing out those pauses to make it feel a little bit more weighted. Kyle is definitely protecting a little bit here.
I know that Nikki and I share a publicist.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be in his best interest to do something like that to his client.
How convenient to accuse my publicist of press leaks. You know what? Your sister made an ass out of herself in public, and everyone saw it. It's really disappointing to see Kyle try to flip this back on me. Let's be honest, she's afraid of Kathy. She's afraid of what she'll do to her.
If we open our...
Okay, I tend to agree with that. And just from an editorial standpoint, after she said she's afraid with Kathy, she's afraid of what she'll do with her, they give a kind of like a hard
Kathy.
stinger to that to show that Erika just made a point that maybe we agree or disagree with. What do you guys think? I tend to agree with that. I think Kyle is, not that she's like afraid of her, but she's afraid of like stuff has gone down in the past. Her whole family hasn't been able to attend a wedding. I think there's a lot of punishing that goes on in that relationship, and she's afraid of being punished personally.
Stories were coming up, given to the tabloids at your hair party. They were being called and told things from the actual event.
That I don't know. No.
There was also being texted a play-by-play of everything was happening and talking about Kathy, too.
Why wasn't it printed if it was a play-by-play?
That's true. It hasn't been in any publications, has it?
No, I want to know. How come if it was a play-by-play and someone was there, how come it hasn't been printed?
Has it been in the press?
Where is this information?
Have you read it in the press? I haven't.
I haven't either.
This is where I know, like, this is the type of thing where Lisa would be like, I got a bad edit last season. But then you watch this scene play out. The editors aren't cutting this at all. They're literally just letting the camera hang on these two as they're talking back and forth. I think it's the Instagram account, Bywig Hello Drama, but she said it was giving very like hyenas from the Lion King vibes.
There, how come it hasn't been printed?
Has it been in the press?
Where is this information?
Have you read it in the press?
I haven't either.
It's got that vibe so much. The way you guys are talking about this right now, like it's a little too much.
Where is this information?
Have you read it in the press? I haven't.
I haven't either.
You guys are like...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
There can be a number of reasons why a story gets squashed. They found it not to be true. They didn't have enough evidence. They see maybe somebody had a motivation to write this. Someone's powerful.
So when she says, you know, they think maybe someone had a motivation to write it, they cut to Erika, they cut to a shot of Erika, and that's very on purpose from the editors.
Powerful and can say, if you post this, I will sue you. But I know that it came from that camp. That is what I was told.
People wondered out there what Kathy did to make her look bad, and it only hurts me.
Accusing Erika's publicist of like whatever? Come on. It's bullshit. Kyle knows what happened. Going to this extent to try to cover for her sister. Unbelievable.
Can I just ask a question?
It's just so weird that they allow that confessional in there to me, because I'm like, she's not trying to cover for her sister. Like, it's almost like Lisa is constantly missing the mark. Like, she sees something and she's like, okay, I'm headed that direction. And then she's like, like, there's something about Lisa, like, where she's always just a little bit off with her perceptions of things. Like I was saying in the last part 1 episode, like, it seems like she and Kyle are having a different conversation in the same conversation. I see that a lot. I don't fault her for it. I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's something like not quite firing, like it's not quite, the connections aren't quite being made, or maybe just not quite being made in the moment, and she needs time to reflect on it. I'm one of those people for sure. Like, if I'm in a situation where stuff is going down, like, I always keep my mouth shut, because I'm like, I need time to process this and really, really think it out before I like say anything, because I'm not like quick on my feet. Maybe Lisa's one of those too, but she has time to think about it before the confessional. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You defended her right away as opposed to going, do you think somebody in your camp would do that?
I don't think so.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking, why don't you ask her that?
Wouldn't even think to ask that, because I don't think anybody would do that. There's a lot of people here.
Yes.
Anybody could talk.
But you don't think there was a part that was like, okay, well, Kathy was an asshole, And
Kathy was an asshole.
She
for
was. So
sure.
let's make sure everybody knows about this.
No.
You know, I'm having a hard time with this
You guys know what I'm
conversation.
saying?
I'll tell you why. Because for 2 years, my ass has been chewed apart every.
I'm sorry. I actually think this is kind of comedic coming from the editors. Just a second ago, she said 1.5 years.
Hold on, I need to say something. For a year and a half, I've been pummeled.
Okay.
And now it's
For 2 years, my ass has been chewed apart.
This to me is so relatable from Erika. If you've ever been in a situation where you just really want to bring something up to your significant other and you just really, really want them to hear it and you bring it up and they don't give you the right response, so you find another way to bring it up again and they still don't give you the right response, then you find another way. That's what I feel like is very relatable about this moment with Erika. I actually kind of find it comedic, and I think the editors do too. That's why they continue to allow her to just speak about it.
Every day about things that I didn't do, and my behavior is up for discussion.
There's absolutely no reason for this to be talked about in the press.
I'm sorry, every time Erika brings this up, everyone's just quiet and they just move right on with the conversation. Like, they don't address her, they don't apologize. Nothing goes on with Erika whenever she brings this up, and I really think they're finding this comical like
in the
I am.
press or outside of this group. If you really are my friend, I need it to end so that I can repair things with my sister.
If it was all about how it hurt you to see my sister.
And then they show that reaction of Erika, like that sigh.
If it was all about how it hurt.
It still didn't hit them. I'm still not getting what I need. I'm gonna have to bring this up again. Why is no one giving me this? Like, it's so, to me, just so funny. So them adding that little reaction shot of her sighing made me laugh.
Sister talked to me like that, whatever. How did it become this big story?
Why would somebody want to take Kathy down?
It's not about taking Kathy down.
I'm just asking a question.
You know what? Let's make up a whole bunch of about someone else to take the spotlight off of me. Why would I do something like that? What do I have to gain by that? The people that are suing me don't give a about Kathy Hilton.
You know, this is a really dangerous game that is being played here.
Who's playing a dangerous game?
Okay, there we go with allowing Garcelle to say that to be our voice of reason again, because what is this a dangerous game? Like, how is this a dangerous game? That's why I'm saying about the missing the mark thing and how the editors just kind of let Lisa speak and then they put it in. She's obviously overly dramatic about stuff, but it's also like, how is this a dangerous game? We're just talking about someone who had a meltdown and now that there's like leaks to the press about it. Like, I don't find it dangerous. That's an exaggerated term. And then of course they let Garcelle come in and be like, how is it dangerous?
You tell me.
I'm sure Kathy has a lot of people that don't like her. You know, like all of us. We all have people that don't like us for whatever reason.
It's not about anybody wanting to take Kathy Hilton down. Kathy Hilton will take herself down. No, she won't. We're not here to take anybody down.
Well, maybe it's.
I love that Lisa chose that line. That was the line that Garcelle said to Erika before, and everyone was like, oh my God, that was so good.
Erika, I don't have to make you look bad. You can do that on your own.
She stole
Well,
it.
maybe it's someone saying, let's take the distraction off of Erika.
There's no taking distraction off Erika.
I was gonna say.
I love your sister, but she's not well known enough to take the distraction off Erika right now. Nobody takes the distraction off Erika.
This is not a competition, Erika, of who's more famous than who. But if you do want to play that game, I think Kathy's last name trumps Girardi.
Here's where I'm having a problem. We were leaving. It was all okay.
So you guys saw when she was kind of doing that little like,
I think Kathy's last name trumps Girardi.
the music sort of goes into sort of like a fun, like silly type of cue. That moment is supposed to be shady and kind of light at the same time, and the music just really complements it very well.
Okay, and what are we talking about? Your sister. Not in a good light.
You should have never put this
I think, and that's my.
I gotta get rid of my earrings.
What's happening with you two?
I gotta get rid of my earrings. Hold on. I gotta give these people my earrings and my jewelry.
Okay, well, I'm going home. Good to see you, good to see you.
I'm gonna go home too.
I'm gonna give you guys this jewelry.
Okay.
Well, if it's not out now, it's gonna be out.
Well, can we not let it be? Because it keeps getting emails saying that's what keeps trying to be happening.
So it's just like, yeah, and then they're leaving again for the fourth time. And I think, honestly, like the editors, again, like they tried to make this scene feel very seamless, but there were just a lot of false starts and stops when it comes to this. And so now here we are, we're back in the entryway. They're leaving again. It's just a little bit like, I don't know, anticlimactic a little bit.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying a thing.
It keeps trying to be pushed and pushed and pushed. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I felt like this was a weird moment for them to include. Like, Kyle's kind of behind this wall. They don't have a camera person in there with her. She's kind of addressing them as they're leaving, almost like she's friendly with them again. It's a weird inclusion, and then Erika's upset. She's like, I didn't say anything. If they had just cut to, you know, Erika and Lisa just kind of leaving, it feels like it would have been a cleaner break and kind of a cleaner like storyline end. But instead, they actually had this whole thing where she's going back to Kyle. Kyle's saying this stuff kind of like as she's unloading her jewelry. It's just a weird,
Give me whatever you have.
I'm not sure what happens from here. If I'm forced to choose between my two friends and my sister, regardless of what happened, it's my blood.
If somebody said to me, your people did this, I'd go, would one of my people do that?
Guys, listen.
Very odd to me, the whole thing.
I know that they're close, so it just
Okay, so they're kind of doing this wrap-up music, as I like to call it, where it's kind of like, it feels like it's resolved music. It feels like something has been resolved, something's moving forward. I think what's kind of hard for us as an audience is that it's not resolved and it doesn't feel like anything much has moved forward. This is where we kind of get excited about the reunions, obviously, but it's just interesting they have this music in, you know, while Garcelle is saying her points, Dorit's saying her points, Crystal's kind of saying her points, and they're just kind of trying to wrap up the season nicely when it really wasn't wrapped up nicely, which honestly, we don't mind. We don't really care as an audience whether it wraps up nicely because we're down to go watch the reunion and see what happens, right? But they're really trying to put that music in to make it feel like, okay, well, something was accomplished here, but we're like, was it? I'm so glad that we were able to cover this finale together. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I am gonna watch the reunions, and if I feel like maybe it's something that I could cover, I'm going to do it because I love the reunions. They're so much fun. Maybe there's just some little elements and stuff that I can talk about that would be interesting to you guys. So we'll see how that goes. Or I might be having a baby. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was such a fun season to share with you guys. We have Potomac coming. It's never over with our ladies. Until next time.
Where's this information?
Have you read it in the press? I haven't.
I haven't either.
Every moment.
Surrounded by idiots.
Big drama.
Yeah, you a star. I mean, you're one of us.